I don't know about you, but wine feels complicated. You've got beautiful vineyards, oak barrels, and then labels so confusing you practically need a decoder ring. What happened to wine being fun? Something shared with friends. If you believe that wine should be simple and joyful, then there's a winery in Michigan for you. Meet Brett Scharnhorst, an IT guy who traded code for corks. At Vinomondo Winery, just outside of Port Huron, he's taken the mystery out of the wine and keeping it fun. And the results speak for themselves. Vinomondo Winery was voted the best of the best for wine in Detroit. My name is Cliff Duvenois, and we are Total Michigan.
Vinomondo is basically a do-it-yourself winery sort of situation. So people can come in, you can do a tasting if you want. We offer flights, wine flights. You can have a glass of wine if you want. If there's a particular wine that you really just can't get enough of, then we offer something unique. You can actually order a batch of wine. You can either get a batch of 15 bottles or you can get a batch of 28 bottles. We will actually go out and order the materials. We will make that wine fresh for you, just for you. And then it takes about 8 to 10 weeks for it to be ready. And then when it's ready, we call you up, tell you, come on in and bottle your wine. And then you come in, you can either come in by yourself, but we recommend bringing in some friends. And then we've got a whole facility in the back of our facility here, at the back of the store, where they can come in and they can just bottle their own wine. They can drink their own wine while they're bottling it. And it's really a great social event. And it's just something that, to my knowledge, nobody else in the Port Huron area or even southeastern Michigan does.
Vinomondo is not your typical winery. Here, the wine waits for you, not the other way around. But who is Brett? And what kind of road leads to owning a place like this?
My background is in IT, actually. I'm an IT project manager for a company called Taubman. Wonderful place. You know, that's just what I've been doing for all of these years. That's what my career has been. But through a series of events that took place over the course of my life, I just found myself in a situation where I was talking to my wife and I just said, I'm not so certain about our retirement. What are we going to do after I get to the point that, because, IT is an industry that is constantly evolving. We've got people coming out of colleges that know so much more than I do. And frankly, they can get paid less. So it's just something that kind of weighs on you after a while. I mean, right now I'm a project manager, so I've kind of evolved out of the, development phase of things. But it's something that always stuck in my mind. So my wife and I, having been repeat customers of Vinomondo here for 8 to 10 years, we thought, well, why don't we try our hand at making our own wines and see how that works out? So we started out something that was a grassroots operation.
Right.
And we learned shortly thereafter that the people who owned Vinomondo here were looking to retire and sell. So at that point, we thought, well, why don't we maybe just pool our resources and talk with the owners and see about buying this facility? Because we didn't want this place to go away. Our fear was that somebody was going to come in, put their own spin on it, change how things worked around here. The batch concept was absolutely a must-have. I mean, and that is something that we thought would probably be the first thing that would get cut. So, and we didn't want that because that's something that's really unique to Vinomondo. Jackie and I have been owners of Vinomondo Winery since then.
I get the batch concept. Any wine you want, they will make. But Brett mentioned this do-it-yourself winery. What did he mean by that? Brett took me into the back room. There were two ladies having just a little too much fun.
We've got a bottler, an automated bottler, bottling machine that sits right there. You put the bottle in, it fills it up, it stops automatically. You take the bottle out of there, you turn around, there's a pneumatic corker. You put it in the corking machine, drop the cork in, shut the door, it automatically pushes the cork in for you. Done. You take the bottle out of there, you move over to another table, you put a foil on top of it. We've got a hot air gun. You shoot the hot air gun at this foil, it automatically shrink wraps to it, shrinks it down. Done. And then comes the label. Now, most of our wines, not all of them, but most of them come with standard labels that you can put on there. Or you can get your own label if you want. What is somebody going to expect when they come walking into Vinomondo Winery? Well, first of all, you're going to come walking into our retail area. You're going to see a lot of wine all over the place. You're going to be greeted by somebody, and the first thing we're going to ask you is, do you want to try some wine? We got some wine for you to try.
Standard question.
Standard question, right? I mean, you're here to try some wine, right? Or if you're just kind of meandering around, you're not sure what you want. So at that point in time, we would ask you, well, what is it you like in a wine? What is it do you like in general? What you can do is you can tell me what it is you like to taste, what flavors you like. If you prefer sweet, if you prefer dry, then I can guide you in that direction. And then we can help you find the wine that it is that you enjoy. And then you can sample some wines. Like I said, we do offer a number of small tastings, just kind of get a feel for whatever you like. And at that point, then you can either purchase a bottle if you want, or you can come into the tasting room. You can sit down. You can get a flight. Or if you know what you like, you get a full glass of wine if you want to do that. If you want to drink an entire bottle here, you can do that as well. We'll get you a bottle to open up, and you can drink it here. Then, if you really like the wine that much, here comes the batch concept. I love that Traminer Riesling so much. I can't get enough of it. And I just, 12 bottles, that's kind of pricey. Well, I'll tell you what, let's go with a batch then, because that cuts down the cost per bottle of your wine. And so how that works then is you tell us, I want to get an order of the Traminer Riesling. We go ahead and note your order. We go ahead and order the materials to make that wine for you. We've had some repeat customers who come in. I mean, they've been repeat customers longer than Jackie and I have even been involved. So we're talking about over 10 years they've been the repeat customers of Vinomondo, and they still come around today. And we've gotten to know these people very well. But we do have instances, where it's become a huge social event. When they come into bottle wine, we can set up a Bluetooth speaker back there. They can play some music. In this instance that you were describing, there were 8 ladies that came in. They were bottling the wine. They're sampling the wine, and they're singing along, and they're playing the same song over and over and over. It was great fun. They had a blast, and that's exactly what it's about. It's about having fun, and they were enjoying the wine, and then they kind of came in here and sat down and had something to eat afterwards. So, but that's what it's all about. The bottling experience is all about having fun, and I putting it into words just doesn't do justice to it. It's just a great thing to do, and it's a lot of fun. It's just a means of just sitting back and just looking at the world and just saying, you know what, I'm just going to take it easy. The wine is good. Life's too short to drink cheap wine.
Amen to that.
Yeah. So our address is 4505 Lakeshore Road, and we're located in Port Gratiot, Michigan. But we're right here at the northwest corner of Kewadin and Lakeshore Roads. If you're familiar with Birchwood Mall, you just come down Kewadin Road from Birchwood Mall off of Pine Grove there, and you'll see us on the left-hand side at the end of the road.
Awesome. And your website?
VinomondoWinery.com.
Perfect.
And we also have a Facebook page. We've got an Instagram page, and we've got a X, formerly known as Twitter page. But really the best way to keep up on all the doings that we've got going on is our Facebook page.
Wine isn't just a drink. It's a moment, shared, poured, and laughed over. And at Vinomondo Winery, it's more than just a bottle. It's an experience that you can craft, enjoy, and share with the people who matter most. And who knows, maybe I'll try my hand at a Total Michigan blend. My name is Cliff Duvernois, and we are Total Michigan. And stick around, here's another Michigan story lined up just for you.